So thank you all for joining us today. This is a special time for us in the life of the institution. And for the past couple of weeks, I've had the honor, and I truly mean that, the honor of serving as the acting AD. And before I introduce President Pinto, I wanted to take a few moments to just give some thank yous. And so first, most importantly, I want to thank our terrific coaches. All of us would do well to remember and recognize that they're teachers first and always, in fact. So thank you to the coaches for all you do. This building doesn't happen without our industrious staff. I mean, everything you see is a result of their long hours and their unshakable belief in what we do. And just can't thank you enough to every single staff member. And we've got a great group back there. Thank you for all you do. Our amazing donors, the past couple of weeks, they've stepped up in just tremendous ways. And so looking around the room, Tim and Ron and Larry and Steve, Peg, they really pulled together and positioned us to go get a great leader. That says something about this organization. Thank you. And finally, I just want to thank my family. Lori, you know that I can't say no when it comes to President asking for a favor, and so thank you for your patience and understanding. So to everyone in the building, from the bottom of my heart, I just want to thank you. Thank you for teaching me so much in such a little amount of time. But the real reason we're here, the real reason for this new season is because we have an amazing announcement to make. So it is my honor and pleasure to introduce the 30th president of the University of Cincinnati, and trust me, the best boss you'll ever have, Dr. Neville Pinto.
Well, good afternoon, everybody, and thank you, Ryan. Thank you, everybody, for being here today for this terrific announcement. Before I get started with the announcement, I do want to echo what Ryan said, and I want to thank all of the staff in the athletics department for a terrific transition. Thank you for everything you do every day. It is greatly appreciated. And I always say students are at the center, and you make sure every day that that is the case. So thank you so much for all that you do. With respect to this announcement, I also have another thank you, and that is to the search committee that helped us identify and bring to Cincinnati such a terrific athletic director. I want to start by first thanking the co-chair of the search committee, Mr. Ron Brown, who is also vice chair of our board of trustees and the chair-elect of the board of trustees. So Ron is here. Is Ron? There you are, Ron. I told you I'm not good at crowds. I don't pick up faces well, but didn't see you at first glance. And then to the other 11 members of our search committee, your perspectives have been invaluable, greatly contributing to our ability to select a top caliber talent that will be the best fit to lead our Bearcats nation into the future. The committee membership included alumni, loyal Bearcats, business leaders, donors, community leaders, academic leadership, faculty, and student athletes. We really put the candidates through the ringer before we selected John. An ex officio member of our committee was our acting athletic director, Ryan Hayes. I want to thank Ryan both personally and on behalf of our Bearcats community for taking on yet another responsibility on top of his very big job as Executive Vice President and Chief of Staff of the Office of the President. And I feel, having heard your thanks to Lori, that I thank both Ryan and Lori for all that they have done. So thank you so much for stepping up at this time when your university needed you. Now to the big announcement and welcome. It is with tremendous Bearcats pride and excitement that I welcome to the University of Cincinnati family our new athletics director, John Cunningham. John's career in athletics administration spans 14 years. He has overseen external operations at 3 NCAA Division I athletic departments within 3 different conferences, and served as a sports administrator for bowl teams, conference championship teams, and NCAA tournament teams. He comes to us from the University of Minnesota, where he has served as Deputy Athletic Director for Administration since 2016. At Minnesota, he has overseen the day-to-day administrative operations of the athletics department and oversees its external areas, including the Gopher Digital Productions, marketing, media relations, and the development office. With the Golden Gophers, he was part of the fundraising and implementation of the Gophers Athletic Village, a privately funded project of $166 million, adding more than 338,000 square feet of new space for academic, leadership, nutrition, practice, and team support for all sports. The project marked the first significant addition to the facilities used by Minnesota's student athletes for study and training in more than 30 years. During John's tenure in Minnesota, philanthropic support increased each fiscal year over 3 years. He also served as liaison for the university's Big Ten media rights contract and was part of the university team that secured $11.2 million in naming rights deal for its arena. Prior to joining the Gophers, John served as Deputy Athletics Director at Syracuse University and in a variety of athletics administrative roles at Boise State University, Texas Christian University, and at the University of Maryland. His background also includes compliance. John earned his law degree at the University of Nebraska College of Law in 2005 and earned his undergraduate degree, graduating summa cum laude from the Texas Christian University in 2001. Whether it's fundraising, fan engagement, or personnel selection, John has created a track record that proves to us he is ready for what's next. Not just ready, but hungry and eager. Coming from his hometown of Lincoln, Nebraska, John is grounded in the same kind of Midwestern values: grit, honesty, and integrity that our region and our people share. His fresh perspective, leadership, and wide-ranging experience will be great assets as we build on the success of our student athletes and our program's competitiveness. He is the right leader at the right time to lead our Bearcats into the future. I am also delighted that our UC family will now include John's wonderful wife, Caitlin. And Caitlin is sitting here to my right with her two beautiful 7-year-old boys, Gus and Hank. You want to wave, Gus? You want to wave, Hank? There you go. They're Bearcats now. Welcome to the Bearcats family and to Cincinnati. John, we have something here to welcome you to UC and the Bearcats family. Get this to you. Here we go.
Awesome.
Bearcat shirt and a hat. How about you want to wear this hat for a minute?
Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Absolutely.
there you go.
Thank you so
Well,
much.
welcome.
Yeah.
How about we move a little bit to the
Okay.
left there
All
so
right.
we get a better picture of you.
Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Thank you, President Pinto, for that introduction, and thank you all for being here today. I know it was a very busy day with signing day. I am humbled, I'm honored, and I'm absolutely thrilled to be introduced today as the new athletic director at the University of Cincinnati. I can tell you that I have a true appreciation for the magnitude of this job and the responsibility that comes with it to serve our 500 student athletes, our athletic staff, and our tremendous coaches, as we collectively represent this university and bring pride to the university and to all Bearcat fans. if you would allow me just a few minutes to thank some of the people that have made this possible. For me, first and foremost, it will always start with my family. My wife, Caitlin, and our twin boys, Gus and Hank. Thank you for your love, your support, and your trust. Jobs in college athletics truly are lifestyles for the families that are involved. And I love intertwining my family into a college athletics department. It's been one of the true joys of my professional life. I look forward to doing the same at Cincinnati. Trust me, in addition to me, you're getting 3 huge Bearcat fans with this group. And I know that Gus and Hank probably are studying depth charts and figuring out who we're playing in the future. They are locked in and they're ready to go. I also want to thank my parents. I want to thank my sister and her family and my in-laws for their continued love and support. My value system today stems directly from my parents and the way that they raised my sister and me. I would like to thank President Pinto and the search committee and all those that were part of the interview and search process. President Pinto developed a search process in which I felt empowered to be myself, to ask key questions, have honest conversations, and ensure that my family and I felt comfortable with this transition. I met with coaches, staff, faculty, donors, and an amazing national championship student athlete. I very quickly recognized that the passion of the athletic staff for Bearcat athletics and the respect and the vision and the leadership of President Pinto. I appreciate his trust in me to take on this important role within the university. I want to thank Mike Bone and previous directors of this department for laying a foundation of success. I want to thank Ryan Hayes for his extensive work as interim athletic director during this time of transition. Finally, I want to thank those whom I have worked with and I have worked for in college athletics. This is an amazing profession with so many people that believe in the impact that athletics can have on the college experience. I have been blessed to be around amazing colleagues and to learn from many great leaders. I specifically want to thank Mark Coyle and his family. I would not be here today without his guidance, his friendship, and his mentorship. He is a true servant leader, and his impact has and continues to be felt by so many in my profession. All right, now on to the future of Bearcat athletics. I have 3 core principles that guide my work and have since my time at Boise State, and I will bring them as a bedrock to what we're going to do at UC. First, I will strive to lead an athletics department that connects with our community. As President Pinto said, I grew up in Lincoln, Nebraska, and from a very early age, I understood how college athletics can bring people together and form a bond between the university and a community. My heroes were college student athletes, and my heroes were their coaches. We need to connect Cincinnati community to the amazing young men and women wearing Cincinnati on their uniforms and the coaches who lead them. There are 300,000 living alumni of this university. Over the past 10 years, 54% of those that graduated from Cincinnati stayed in Cincinnati. There is affinity built into this community. We need Cincinnati alumni and fans to come together and rally around these young people that step onto conference and national stages and represent this university. In turn, and this is on us and this is on me, this athletics department will make you proud to be a fan, both in how we compete and how we win, as well as how we serve and give back to this city. Every 4th grader in Cincinnati should have a Bearcat t-shirt. We need more Bearcat t-shirts and fewer Buckeye t-shirts. That's the type of movement that I want to make. Something that simple, something as simple as a t-shirt, can build affinity and support for a long time. We want our fans to buy tickets and attend events, but we also want our fans to connect with all of our programs, all of our coaches, all of our student athletes in a very unique way. We will continue to connect with the corporate base in Cincinnati, always telling our story of success. We need that base's support to fill our stadiums and our arenas. So connecting with our community is one of our guiding principles. Secondly, we will use athletics to enhance and propel the University of Cincinnati. With the help and support of this fan base, this athletics department will continue to do special things. We will win American Conference championships. We'll compete in bowl games. We'll compete for national championships. And in doing these special things, we will continue to put the university on a national platform. And we will use this platform to highlight this remarkable top 35 public research institution. We will propel this university by holding our coaches to an expectation that they will recruit the very best young men and women to represent the University of Cincinnati in a first-class manner. That's what Next Lives Here means. After speaking to Coach Fickle and learning more about him, I am confident that the class that he just introduced, this new football student-athlete class, fits that mold. We will enhance the university by providing an exhilarating experience for our student body. They will remember going to games with their friends and cheering on the Bearcats. There is no better name for a student section than the Ruckus. It's the heartbeat of Bearcat athletics. That's the vibe that we want to create and the fun that we want to provide to our students. Many say that athletics is the front porch of a university, and we will do our part to welcome the world to the University of Cincinnati through athletics. Thirdly, and perhaps most importantly, we will strive to change the lives of our student athletes as they prepare to change the world. Athletics is one piece of the overall educational experience that our student athletes will receive at Cincinnati, and we must strive to provide them with a world-class experience. College athletics is a tremendous training ground for leaders. Student athletes experience pressures, wins, losses, ups, downs, but they also have extensive leadership training. They function with discipline and hard work. They are not soft. They are guided, instructed, and trained by leaders of men and women who make up our Cincinnati coaching staff. These student athletes, upon graduation, are and will be dedicated, powerful future employees. An extension of connecting with the community is connecting with business leaders and making sure they understand the high quality of young people that are graduating from our athletics department. We need to provide meaningful opportunities for our student athletes once they graduate and finish with their college athletics career. And in turn, these young people will give back to this community. Many will come to Cincinnati to play sports for 4 or 5 years, but they'll stay in Cincinnati for 40 years. I heard it once said by an athletics director that student athletes do not disrupt our business, they are our business. I will work hard to make sure our athletics department never forgets that student athletes are at the core of everything that we do, and that our values and work reflect care and concern for all student athletes that come to our program. Cincinnati athletics will win, and it will win the right way, with an emphasis on the development and education of the student athlete. We have work to do. I'm excited for this challenge, and my family and I cannot wait to call Cincinnati home. Thank you again, and go Bearcats. Now, yeah.
Who wants to lead us off? Come on, Chad. Cooper, let's go.
What was it
going through the beginning of this process that really piqued your interest about Cincinnati, and then the more that you learned, what made it a job that you wanted to aggressively pursue?
Yeah, I think right away, from an outsider's view, you just see all the success. 15 bowl games since 2000, 14 NCAA men's basketball tournaments. That's your revenue sports. We've also done amazing things with the Olympic sports as well. Sweet 16 in women's volleyball this year. A lot of success. And so just from the outside, that's obviously what attracts you. As I started the process and I got to know President Pinto, I think that's really what sold me. I saw his vision. I could very quickly see how people were rallying around his vision, and so that's really what sold me. And then it doesn't take long to do a little bit of research into Cincinnati and realize it's a great place to live, and so it was a tremendous fit for my family.
John, back here, how have your conversations gone with Luke Fickle already, and just how important is it for you to kind of make sure that he's a guy that sticks around here for a long time?
We've had I had a couple of good conversations, had a chance to meet him today. Right away, what I told him is he's my hero from a father standpoint. We have twins. They take it to us almost every day. So I don't know. He deals with two twins. So he and Amy are parents of the year as far as we're concerned. But we've had really good conversations. I know that he loves this place. I know he really loves this community and wants to be successful. His recruiting class looks remarkable. I know he recruits at a very high level. And so I'm really excited to get to know him more and just spend some more time.
I'm sure your head's spinning at this point with things that you want to do and goals that you want to accomplish. Is there, in the future, will you have something set aside in terms of a 30-day plan, 60-day plan to just sort of be able to kind of take all the things you want to do and sort of solidify them?
That's a good one. In the future, I will have a 30-day and 60-day plan. Yeah, I'm gonna take maybe just a minute to think a little bit more about it. Obviously, as I've kind of gone through this process, I've outlined some things that I certainly want to do right away, and people that I want to meet with, and relationships that I want to build right away that I know are going to be crucial to my success. So I'll focus in on that, and then we'll kind of take it from there.
You mentioned the values that you have. How did Nebraska's 3 championships in 4 years influence you or shape you to who you are today as an athletic director?
That was my wheelhouse. That was my high school years, and so it certainly had an impact on me. And again, it was fun to watch it. I have a lot of respect for Coach Osborne growing up. He was somebody I obviously looked up to, and how he ran that program. So it does have an impact on you. And I think that as I went to law school and I decided at some point that I didn't want to practice law, I wanted to take that passion that I had built from a young age and find a way to use my law degree in college athletics. So it had a big impact.
What do you think about the American Conference as a conference for Cincinnati?
It's tremendous in terms of the schools that are in the American Conference are really strong, and you can certainly see that across the board. It's a good conference and a place that we can really be successful, I believe. And then we have to really celebrate that success when we do it, because if you win an American Conference championship, that's a big deal, and we've got to be making sure that we're celebrating our success there.
What's your thought about efforts to get into the Power 5 conference versus staying in the AAC?
I think you can always have aspirations, right? Aspirations are important just in life, and so I understand that that's going to be something that we look at. But I do, like I said, I think we have to be the very best Cincinnati that we can be. That's what we can control. And when you just look at what you have control over, well, then let's go out and make sure that we're supporting this school the way that it needs to be supported. Let's win as many games and conference championships as we can win, and let's go from there.
Anybody else?
At what point, you've been a number 2 guy or a guy that's worked your way up, over the past decade or so, at what point did you and your family say, let's try to get a number 1 spot. Let's try to make this next step and be an athletic director?
My wife always talks about her being shocked one day when I came home and I said I want to be an athletic director, but it probably happened around the time that I went to Boise State. And that's ironically right when I met Mark Coyle. He was the deputy athletic director at Kentucky, and he had just gotten to Boise State as the new AD. And so I think we kind of bonded around the fact that we were both new, trying to figure things out. And I told this story to the staff, but he sat me down over a cup of hot chocolate in Las Vegas one day and said, what do you want to do? And I said, I want to be an athletic director. And without hesitation, he just said, I'm gonna find a way to get you there. And so I was able to be around him in a lot of different situations, and he really went out of his way to make sure that I had the experience I needed to be here today.
You started in compliance. How did working under Mark Coyle teach you the other aspects and put you in a position to be a guy that leads a program?
He had a belief in me that I could be an external person, and that was huge, because that's sometimes a tough transition to make. But I was able to make that at Boise State with him, and he has a way about him and the way he treats people that I've really learned from. He talks about when you're dealing with donors and you're out there trying to fundraise, the key is follow through, and the key is being honest. And I think that's something that I learned from him, and certainly something I take with me into this position.
Being outside the Power Five, fundraising is obviously a very critical and an important part of where UC is at. What are your philosophies on fundraising and the ability to take things up another notch here?
It's relationships, and sometimes it takes a little time, sometimes it doesn't, but it's relationships with people that already have a built-in passion for what you're talking about. And so one of the things that I always say in terms of fundraising is go out there and connect to their passion, whatever that is, whatever aspect of Cincinnati athletics that is. Find out, and then, like I said, be very honest with them, be upfront, don't be afraid to make an ask, and then follow through all the way to the end, and then steward them after the gift is made.
Attendance at football has been on the rise with their success recently, especially with the student section has been coming out in full force. As far as the average Cincinnati UC student, what do you have to say to them? The ones who are not athletes.
We want you there, and we're going to do everything we can, like I said in this talk just a minute ago, to make it fun. It's got to be a fun, exciting environment, and it changes everything when that happens, because you have regular fans that come to the games more often when the environment is really good, led by the student section. And so it's going to be really important for us to do everything we can to make sure that they're having a really good time, enjoying it. It's a break from studying. That's what it should be when you come to a basketball game or a football game. Show up and have a good time and really enjoy it.
Any other questions? All right, thank you very much for coming out.
Thank you.
Bearcats.